Good afternoon and welcome to NPL Victoria Women's from Calder Park. It is Calder United against South Melbourne, the teams that finished first and second on the table last year, set to do battle in just the second round of Women's NPL in 2019. Teo Pellizzeri is my name. Joining me in commentary for the first time on one of these streams is Isabel Fenner. Izzy, you're a learned follower of NPL Victoria Women's and women's football in general. Great to have you along. What are you looking forward to in today's game?
Thanks for having me, Teo. I'm looking forward to a cracker of a game, to be honest. Two very strong, consistent performers doing battle in round two. Should be a good game.
And who's going to win and why?
Oof. I think whichever team can withstand this heat, but I think South's starting 11 is just a little bit stronger, and I think it'll be a very close game, but I'm going to go South.
Well, I will take great interest in how this game goes, as will you. Let's observe the teams. Calder United, who won 3-0 against Alamein last weekend. They've got Ayana Ayagi in goal, Rachel Binning, Emily Hulbert, Gulshan Koja, Stacey Papadopoulos, Marie Rampel, Emma Robers, Alexandra Sinclair, the twins, Adriana and Melissa Taranto, and the reigning gold medalist and Golden Boot winner, Catherine Zimmerman, as their starting 11. For South Melbourne, in goal, their new keeper, Erin Hudson, Chelsea Bliss, Alex Gummer, Cindy Lay, Nat Martineau, Amy Medwin, Kelsey Minton, Jamie Pollock, Sophia Sakalis, Leah Scroggy and Leah Varley. So a number of the new faces for South, and they just eased into the campaign with an 11-0 win against Southern last weekend. On the bench for Calder, Alana Byrne, Raquel Doralis, Polly Doran, Alicia Ike and also Sarah Lorca. And looking at the South Melbourne bench, Mariam Anvari, Sky Jensen, Kelsey Quinn, Emily Raymond and Betty Michaels. So South Melbourne, Izzy, in the past have been notorious slow starters, playing a lot of their under-19s players up in the seniors. This year it looks as though their strongest team is pretty much ready straight away, pending the future of Melina Ayres, which we don't know yet, and of course Lisa Devanna, who we suspect is going to be busy with the World Cup and Matilda's duties and probably won't be playing for South Melbourne. And if she does appear, it won't be until a lot later in the year.
Yeah, absolutely. They've really come out firing with this starting 11, and yeah, I'm looking forward to a good game.
So am I, and it's a firm pitch on a very hot day here at Calder Park. Credit to Calder, the club, for withstanding the theft of copper wiring, which has left them far worse for wear as a club here at Calder Park during the week, and we hope that the culprits are brought to justice, because it's left the club without power, unfortunately. However, this game is powering on, and we are underway. It is Calder United against South Melbourne. They didn't meet in the finals last season. They didn't meet in the cup. It's, in a way, the rivalry that kind of isn't, because even though they go point for point on the ladder, they never actually met at the business end of last season. And Izzy, that kind of actually robbed us, I think, a bit of what we hoped would be the natural conclusion to the season, which was these two teams finally settling who was better once and for all. In the end, it was Bulleen that just kind of stole in and grabbed the title on grand final day.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess it's just about how you perform at that business end of the season.
So Emily Hulbert in possession early here for Calder and playing it to Leah Varley. Only 17 years old, but already taking on a lot of responsibility at the centre of defence. And now the opposing centre-back, Gulshan Koja, back to Ayana Ayagi to get her first touch. And here's Rachel Binning. Don't expect too much aggressive pressing or pressure play, especially in the first half of this game. It might actually prove to be quite a slow tempo, given the difficult weather conditions. Of course, it's a hectic afternoon of NPL Victoria, both men's and women's. We've already seen Bulleen record a 10-0 win against Southern United earlier today, down at Monterey Reserve. That game kicked off at 1:20 to try and avoid the heat of the day. Bulleen 5 in the first half, 5 in the second. And as Marie Rampel has her path blocked here, she goes back to Rachel Binning. Good to see Calder have put up a tent for their subs this week, Izzy. They normally make them sit out in the sun, and then the Brains Trust, the coaches and the technical directors, they occupy the bench. So good on Calder. They've put up a little tent for their subs today.
I think a little air conditioner would be nice.
Or maybe one of those big industrial fans, the ones that blow through the ice onto the players. You see them in American sports or in the AFL. See, in the AFL, they'll take you in and put you in a freezer room, or they'll have a truck at the side of the pitch, and then at half-time they'd go and do the team talk in the freezer. Maybe that can be one to put in the memory bank for another time. Leah Varley to Amy Medwin. Medwin just drifting forward and ran out of ideas when M. Hulbert closed in. Players appealing to the assistant referee, who I think deferred to the centre. South Melbourne get the decision. Kelsey Minton touching it back to Medwin. And a block tackle from Papadopoulos. And this time it's going Calder's way. So not unexpected, is it, that we've got off to a fairly modest and pedestrian start to this game, because these two teams will be well aware that they need to survive 90 minutes today.
Yeah, absolutely. No running too hard at those back passes today.
Don't be too put off by the planes going overhead. Of course, you'll hear them roaring through on a regular basis here at Keilor Park, quite close to Melbourne Airport, very much in the flight path. So we have a throw-in for South Melbourne down at left back, and it's Alex Gummer, who spent the entire summer with Melbourne Victory. In the end, only got the one game right at the end of the season against Canberra United, but was able to get a winner's medal for the Premier's Plate and also get to pose with the trophy. Here's Sophia Sakalis, who herself spent the summer at Melbourne City, and has the ball whipped away. Hulbert combining with Zimmerman. Gummer challenging, and Zimmerman, this is where she is so dangerous on a tight angle, and Hudson, it broke the hands, but to no damage because she did take most of the sting out of the ball. And I'll tell you what, Izzy, it's going to take a bit of getting used to see Erin Hudson playing, well, not in the blue of South Melbourne because she's the keeper, but certainly a big signing in the off-season to come in and succeed Beth Mason-Jones as the keeper.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very different seeing a different keeper there for South, but, you know, she's already made an early save, so she'll be feeling good.
Yet to concede a goal this year, of course. Sinclair's trying to change all that, and Chelsea Blissett lunges into Clare. Robers, Hulbert, neat pass, but Nat Martineau is first to the ball, and now 50-50 to be won, and Koja set herself for the task against Minton. And another former Alamein player who has switched to South in Minton is knocked off the ball. And Marie Rampel getting forward to Zimmerman, touching back. Mel Taranto from the edge of the box. Great start for Calder. Mel Taranto picks out the bottom left. Nothing the keeper could do about that, and Calder strike first. They've got the early goal, and neat build-up play from Hulbert and Zimmerman. And then the decisive shot from Taranto, a great one.
Yeah, absolutely. That was an absolute ripper of a shot. Nothing the keeper could do in that situation. That was just a good quality, low, wide strike. Mel
Taranto, like Adriana, her twin sister, has got the season off to a flying start. If you struggle to tell the two apart, Mel wears the number 16 in the black boots, and Adriana, thankfully, wears the white boots. And they've got slightly different hairstyles today as well, which is always a great favour to me, because at times they have taken the identical appearance to the nth degree. But that was a great goal, and South Melbourne fall behind early. Got to say, Calder, South Melbourne's defence didn't offer a great deal of resistance there, but that sort of a finish, very hard to defend against. The placement of the shot, absolutely perfect. It would have beaten any keeper at this level.
Yeah, absolutely, and not too many people would have taken the shot from there, so they may have been sort of expecting the layoff.
Perhaps that's a bit of home ground advantage as well, just knowing the dimensions of this pitch and knowing where her range is to shoot from. Amy Medwin now with a bit of space to exploit. Sinclair in pursuit and combining with Papadopoulos. A few of the speedsters coming together. Scorpion Koja turns on the ball, steers it up to Sinclair. And now the goal scorer, Mel Taranto. Robins. Emily Hulbert is finding match fitness and form. Of course, spent a number of years in the United States in college. Before that was a W League Championship winner with Melbourne Victory. Back to Rachel Binning. So Calder controlling possession early. And now the ball goes out. So as another plane comes in overhead, South Melbourne a chance to take a deep breath. Blissett. Now Gummer. Natalie Martineau. Cindy Lay off the chest, couldn't control it. Binning to Zimmerman. Sinclair, hold up. And directing traffic. Jamie Pollock challenging, but can't get to the ball as Hulbert through the left. An early cross off the midriff of Varley. And she's going to stop it going out for a corner. I'm very interested in the setup of this South Melbourne defence. I'll give you a few minutes just to take a look at them both when they're defending and when they're in possession. But to me, it looks as though Gummer's left back and Blissett is centre back next to Varley. So they've opted for a central deferring partnership with a combined age of 35. And they're leaving the vastly experienced Gummer over on the left. We'll wait and see how that shakes out here. And Gummer, indeed, on cue, breaks wide. Out to the flank. And then steers it into Jamie Pollock, one of the American midfielders. Apparently her dad's a big fan of the live stream, so shout out to you. If you've, I assume it's the middle of the night in the east coast of the USA. Martineau. Back to Gummer. And then back to Pollock. So the back four for South is Medwin at right back, Varley and Blissett in the middle, and Gummer on the left. What do you make of that back four opting for Gummer on the left rather than in the middle, Izzy?
Yeah, it's an interesting decision. Obviously, you'd expect Gummer to be in there at the centre back. I think Blissett showed in the W League that she can definitely hold her own and play well against the sort of best in the country. So, you know, if they've seen something good for her at centre back, then good on them. Try something new.
Certainly think that Blissett's future is as a centre back as well, because she is deceptively tall. She's standing next to Leah Varley, who's one of the tallest players in the league, and that's why perhaps she doesn't look like the most fearsome presence, but they've actually got two of the taller players in the competition standing next to each other at the centre of defence, albeit two very young players. Medwin. Deflected off Papadopoulos. And skimming off the head of Varley. Tell you what, it's a busy one over at Melbourne Airport today. Some games you'll go 20 minutes between flights, Izzy, but we've had about 5 or 6 roar overhead already today.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of people going away.
Sakalis can't win the aerial duel against Binning, and here is Blissett judging the bounce at the last. The pass sold Scroggy into a bit of trouble, and so it goes out for a throw. Papadopoulos heard the shouts of teammates. Adriana Taranto. And the flag is up against Alexandra Sinclair. And, well, when you're looking down the defensive line like that, you expect the striker to judge it well enough, but the flag goes up and you trust the assistant's call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Taranto's goal in the 5th minute, the difference between the two teams. Still only early. Good that there's been an early goal, though, Izzy, because you worry that both teams, if it was becoming all a bit too difficult in the hot weather, might have been happy with the point. But at least the early goal means that it might open up the game a bit. Yeah,
definitely, but it could lead to some very hot and tired legs in the last 15-20 minutes of the game.
Is the shot on for Hulbert here? Zimmerman, always in shooting range, and credit Scroggy to deny her once, and then Zimmerman following through a second time and sent this one high over the bar.
Was waiting for Hulbert to let loose on that one. I remember a few stunners that she did for Box Hill a few years ago. I was waiting for that.
I don't know if it's because I watch a lot of this league, but you can just tell when Catherine Zimmerman wants to shoot and when you can just tell that her only intention is to shoot, and that was one of those cases, wasn't it, Izzy, where you knew that as soon as she got the ball, a teammate wasn't getting it there. She was going to back herself on that left foot to have a go, and it took 2 shots to get one away.
Yeah, good on her, though. Some people don't like to take that shot, pass it around the box until someone's in the perfect position, but, you know, if you don't shoot, you're not scoring, so it's good to see.
Catherine Zimmerman, of course, the Golden Boot winner last season, 2 in the Community Shield, 2 last weekend, so has already got off to a flying start. I will do as best I can to keep an eye on scores around the grounds, because we do have Box Hill United against Bayside down at Kingston Heath today, and you can see that game for yourself on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. In fact, I can tell you that Box Hill are 1-0 up after 13 minutes, so they've scored away to Bayside. South are looking for an equaliser here, with Kelsey Minton being guarded by Papadopoulos, and then gives it away to Zimmerman. Is the counter on, though? Calder starting very deep. Taranto Can't find Sinclair. Blissett committed to the ball once, twice, and then keeps it moving to Cindy Lay. And now the through pass. Flag stays down. Sakalis, can she reach it in time? Not quite. Ayana Aoyagi, hands first, got the ball cleanly. And then a bit of contact from Sakalis on the way through, but courageous goal kick.
Yeah, wonderful stop there.
Ball to try and clear. Shouts for handball are heeded. So Adriana Taranto over a mid-range free kick. We've already spoken at length about the height in the South Melbourne defence. Jamie Pollock as well, one of the best players in the air in this league. And Erin Hudson, safe as houses. Although the wind just picked up a little bit. I think we're going to be biased to thinking it's windy today, Izzy, because we're up in the scaffold. So we're going to say it's windy all day, when in fact it may not be quite as blustery down at field level.
Yeah, up here it's a nice breezy day. Down there it's a very different story.
Ramples pass. Zimmerman surrounded by South Melbourne players, one of whom is Cindy Lay, breaking with the ball, and Zimmerman determined to chase her down. Referee's view might have just been blocked there. Looked like a foul. Referee's got a better vantage point to make that call, and for the second time today, the flag is up against Alexandra Sinclair, and with a degree of incredulity, she turns around and can't believe the flag is up, but I think on that occasion she had definitely strayed offside. It's a fantastic competitor. The reigning Players' Player of the Year, so recognised by her peers as well as one of the best players in the league. Managed to get an active fan in today, chanting for South Melbourne. The refrains of Hellas Ole. You don't hear that too often in the women's matches, do you, Izzy? But good on him for making the trek out to Keilor Park.
Yeah, no, you don't. It looks like he's even brought a drum. So.
That's what we like. Great scenes at Moreland Zebras versus Brunswick City in NPL2 last night, with about 15 active fans all singing and chanting. It's what you want to see at NPL level.
Yeah, absolutely.
Need to have more of that in the women's NPL too. So Medwin back to Varley under a bit of pressure from Sinclair, but they work that situation out. Back to Leah Varley. Jamie Pollock. And off the knee of Mel Taranto. And we're going to have our first drinks break. So as a plane roars overhead, I'm not sure if we're having two or just the one drinks break per half, but the players are going to need these, Izzy, and as an avid follower of the W League, I suppose many of these players have played at that level. They know the drill about summer football, and it is just so important to hydrate, and it's almost a bipartisan approach here that players are running over under the tower here and sharing drink bottles among each other, even though they're on opposing sides. They know, they see the sense in taking care of each other.
Yeah, definitely, and I think at this point any shade is good. Those benches aren't in an ideal position at this ground, but...
What have you made of the game so far? Calder leading thanks to Mel Taranto's early goal. South Melbourne yet to really put together a meaningful attack, although that through pass to Sophia Sakalis a few moments ago was definitely maybe a sign of what's to come. Yeah,
definitely. That was probably their first really solid play forward. I think Calder's definitely had the upper hand in terms of that attacking pressure and getting some shots off early and making the goalkeeper have to work.
So the whistle goes from the central referee to get players back on the pitch. That tells me that we might be having two drinks breaks in this half, actually. Of course, the warm weather did wreak a bit of havoc with kick-off times for seniors and juniors alike, all up and down the girls and boys NPL, as well as the men's and women's. It means that we've got a flurry of men's NPL on the YouTube channel later this afternoon and evening, starting from 4:30, the game between Avondale and Kingston. You'll be able to hear Adam Sarakoglu and Katie Lambeski on that one. And tomorrow afternoon, it's the streaming broadcasting debut of Tim Buchanan and Marissa Lordanich from the women's game. So I'm looking forward to tuning in and hearing them from Heidelberg against Geelong Galaxy. Right now, though, our focus is back on Calder and South. Adriana Taranto. given we took the drinks break at the 15-minute mark, Izzy, I reckon we're having 2 per half.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good call.
Just goes to show how much hard work's gone in already, and we're still relatively early in the afternoon's action. Mel Taranto, back to Adriana. The acquisitions from Galaxy United. Was always based in Melbourne, based in the northern suburbs of Melbourne. Calder was a bit of a natural fit for them once they decided to leave Galaxy. As Pollock sends it out to Sakalis, just ambling after the ball, and is going to engage Marie Rampel now. Sakalis to a standstill. Rampel not challenging, and then the ball is yielded, so a bit of a tame giveaway of possession there. Holbert's pass, though, will give it back. Attempted through ball, Martineau. Can't run this one down. So, with no Melina Ayres and no Lisa Devanna, the forward setup for South appears to be Sophia Sakalis on the left, Kelsey Minton on the right, and almost 2 false nines in the form of Cindy Lay and also Nat Martineau. I guess, Izzy, they don't have a really rolled gold guaranteed scorer in that forward line, do they? Minton maybe wearing the number 9 shirt, but again, she's a player that played quite deep for Alamein last year. I suppose it's the one thing they're missing at the moment, isn't it? They'd love to have someone like a Catherine Zimmerman leading the line for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. It is probably the one thing that they are missing, but I guess players like Cindy Lay and Nat Martineau have shown over the years that they can produce some pretty amazing goals and work all game, so you never know what can happen.
I agree with you on Martineau, who played a lot in the front 3 last year. As Hudson slides out to the ball here. Able to collect. Out to Gummer. Sakalis. Challenge from Hulbert. Floors Sakalis. Now Sinclair. And good aggressive play from Leah Varley, but then left the ball behind. Did the hard work and then couldn't capitalise. So Sinclair back in possession. Adriana Taranto. Back to Koja. Robins. Stacey Papadopoulos. Sinclair. Mel Taranto. Zimmerman is going to set up for Sinclair. Little step around Scroggy, who's trying to get goal side. Mel Taranto's got one already. And Jamie Pollock awake to the danger. A big block. Adriana Taranto off the heels of Martineau. Ball is there to be won. Mel Taranto. Little nutmeg on Pollock and still going. And it's parried. And that's going to bring Zimmerman into play. Danger not yet averted for South Melbourne as the cross is deflected behind for a corner. And Erin Hudson there. For all money, I thought she was going to wrap 2 hands around the ball. But the parry just brought a little bit of life back to Calder's attack. So we wait for Taranto to go over and take the corner. We are live and interactive on Facebook as well as YouTube, so keep those comments coming through. We'll read some of the better ones out. Taranto's corner, just a tumbler. Robers challenging. Sinclair goes in. Now big lunging tackles from Minton and Zimmerman. Papadopoulos with a deflection. And Gummer drives away and is going to find a teammate in Sakalis. She's the most advanced South player, though, and is just biding her time, waiting for support. Good close control. Most important thing is that the pass hit a target, and it did in Scroggy. And now over to Kelsey Minton, who is not able to use her speed. Minton again. And it's just come a little bit disjointed for South Melbourne as they give possession away. Adriana Taranto to Zimmerman. Emily Hulbert. And Hulbert. You see the confidence on the ball. She took the little stutter step there just on her run. Papadopoulos. It's neither a cross nor a shot. And Cindy Lay. Back to middle. Rovers. And play's going to stop here. Nat Martineau is just down. I didn't see anything, Is it an impact injury, or is this potentially an issue with the heat?
I didn't see that one, actually. I think it might have been after the ball had gone past.
So let's read some comments. Lionel, Nat Martineau's dad, watching from Canada, says, looking forward to a great match. Stay hydrated. Liz says, where's Mason Jones? Beth Mason Jones is in the crowd watching today. Chris says, big hello from Lau. Great to see NPL live. Of course, Chris Zoyce, father of Paige Zoyce, who's away with the Junior Matildas, or the Junior Matildas as I call them, because of Jen Wilmot, the team manager. And also Silvana says, great to see NPLW working well in Bangkok, on our way to Laos for Asian qualifiers. Go Aussies. Of course, Silvana, the mother of Alana Yanchevsky. So good to know that our viewing numbers in Laos are going to be pretty good, Izzy.
Yeah.
Add those to the stats. Taranto. Rovers. Binning. Taranto. And Rampel is going to have to motor, and she won't chase that one down as it catches a bit of wind. It belies the direction of the corner flag because that just kept rolling out for a goal kick. Calder 1, South 0. Mel Taranto's goal, the difference between the teams at the moment. And South almost played themselves into a bit of trouble. Hulbert making a contest. Now we see treatment continue for Nat Martineau, and you wonder, just doing a quick head count here, Izzy, correct me if I'm wrong, but South are down to 10. They haven't brought on a sub?
No, I don't believe they have.
They don't want to sacrifice Nat Martineau here, so they're going to go with a player's disadvantage. Mariam Anvari is warming up should they need to make a change here. All the way back to Guljan Koja. Papadopoulos. Zimmerman, always dangerous in this situation. Sinclair with a channel. Can she free the feet? And good keeping from Hudson initially. Took the ball away, and that's what it needed just to deny Sinclair. And even though it was loose, Varley was first to respond. Shot from the edge of the box by Zimmerman, and South Melbourne awake to the danger of Zimmerman by having 3 players in her path.
Yeah, it was definitely needed to get through a few there, but, you know, all credit to her. Have a go.
Treatment continues for Nat Martineau. They look like a team that's pretty comfortable down to 10 here, so whether they've trained for it or whether it's just trust in each other, you've got to give them credit for that.
Yeah, especially in this heat.
Medwin. Papadopoulos almost reffed herself there. Went down pleading to the whistleblower, and eventually the call came through. Guljan Koja. Zimmerman. This time is thinking about a cross and can't beat Varley. Medwin's clearance. All Calder though. South have not had an attacking foray in quite some time. They need something to just break the pattern of this game open and relieve a bit of pressure on their defence.
Yeah, they do. It's really been played in their defensive half the whole game, really. So, yeah, they want to try and find something fresh.
Koja trying to keep that South defence under the pump. Varley's got to make ground here and collected a bit of Papadopoulos, but got the ball. Nothing illegal. Varley. Minton. He's come deep to help out the defence and wins a throw. That'll at least get South out of their defensive half. Repeating around the grounds, Bulleen 10-0 today. And also Box Hill currently leading Bayside 1-0. Of course, Monday week, the 11th, is Bulleen versus South, grand final rematch at the Veneto Club. So South with a couple of big games back-to-back. Still got a lot of work to do in this one, and they're going to have to make a sub because it is an injury to Nat Martineau that has ended her afternoon very early. And it's watch this space. In a 27-game home and away season, you don't take any risks, I suppose. And Mariam Anvari, who got a taste of senior football last season, scored a couple of goals and even made it into the NTC team for the NTC Challenge in Canberra, is now back on. A player who spent most of the year in the 19s last year, but has shown what she can do in the seniors. Maybe it's going to prompt a bit of a rethink as well, because Anvari, we were speaking about the lack of a natural forward, even though she's not exactly a league-leading forward. She's definitely a more natural number 9 than any of the other players that were out on the pitch. So, if nothing else, it gives them a bit more of a defined structure. Not that they want to lose a player of Nat Martineau's quality.
No, it is a big loss, but yeah, as you said, it's good to have sort of that natural forward up there now, some sort of reshuffle and see what they can create.
Hudson pinpointing Gummer. Rample right on her case. Blissett. Back to Hudson. And that one goes out onto the back pitch. The shouts of Michaela Gallo, South Melbourne coach. Koja. Papadopoulos, lots of space to roam, but looking inboard instead. Adriana Taranto can't find a way through the congestion. Sakalis and Vari just ran central when the pass was going wide. That allows Binning to lead to the ball. It finds its way out. And that will be the second drinks break of the half. So, Isabel Fenner, your thoughts on the 15 or so minutes we've seen since the last break? All Calder, really. South Melbourne barely creating a chance.
Yeah, it has been all Calder, although I don't think they've created as many chances as you would hope with the amount of possession they've had. I think the South Melbourne's backline have actually done pretty well to close those shots down when they have tried to take them. But yeah, hopefully South can create something to make a bit of competition.
I certainly think there's a lot of upside to the South defence. Medwin played W League, albeit only one game this last summer. Varley has been on the fringes of Melbourne victory without ever getting onto the bench. Chelsea Blissett played 5 games, or 4 games, I think, for Melbourne City. So I think there's some players there who have very high ceilings in that South Melbourne defence. And Alex Gummer, of course, a well-established W League player over 6 years now, so she's the most experienced. And yet when I look at a player like Blissett or like Varley, if things go right for them, there is no reason they can't be long-term W League players. And when you're a defender, you're never that far away from the national team either. I know it seems ridiculous to say, but you look at the depth of quality and talent in Australian defenders. I think that you'd see every incentive to push on and continue with your football career if you're a natural centre-back.
Yeah, definitely. Best opportunity these days.
Of course, the Matildas play tomorrow, and Alana Kennedy didn't train today, so when we talk about centre-back depth, I guess we'll see if it's Laura Alloway or if it's Alana Kennedy, maybe even Steph Catley playing in the middle tomorrow night against South Korea. Here's Halberts. Papadopoulos. Zimmerman fashions a bit of space, and now out to Rample. Minton's got to backtrack because Rample, a free cross into the box. Halbert with a, well, half-hearted volley. It needed a proper strike at the ball, and some real force, and it just wasn't there. More just a little tap off the inside of the boot. You can see the South defence were scrambling. Now Pollock, Sakalis, and Vari almost. That would have been a nice little move from Sakalis and Anvari. A couple more teenagers. Severe Sakalis has been a name that's been known in the NPL for such a long time. I think it's a 4th season of seniors now after breaking through in the NTC as a 14-year-old. So kind of gotten used to her as a bit of a regular name, even though she's only 17, is he? And again, you got to just account for the peaks and troughs of growing up rather than having expectations that are too high.
Yeah, definitely. You sort of forget that a little bit with these young players. You think they're almost should be veterans, but they haven't even finished high school.
Hulbert, Zimmerman on the turn, and again, heads up defending from Cindy Lay. Just when it looked like Zimmerman had shaken the attention of the South defence. Papadopoulos doesn't mind having a dip from this sort of distance. Did set up a goal with the long shot against Alamein last week, but can't get it right this time. And Sakalis to Pollock, who is the most advanced player. He's going to have to find a teammate, and Vari has made a good run. Koja will go chasing. And Vari can't get to the ball, though. And what started as a promising move on the very wide pitch that is particularly down in the corners here at Keilor Park.
It is a long run.
Going end to end here can be very difficult. I think back to some of the games here. I think of a semi-final a couple of years ago between Calder and Alamein, where the wind was howling in one direction and Alamein were defending against it and never even looked like getting out of their defensive half. Never mind to their penalty area down the other end. Varley and Vari. Tangle for possession. Cindy Lay using the body well. And legs, and that will draw the whistle of Yoav Fisher, today's referee. And even though Adriana Taranto was grabbing at the hand of Cindy Lay, she wanted to get up on her own terms there, wasn't ready to be led back up.
Yeah, no rush in this weather.
And so South Melbourne with a set piece. Ayayagi hasn't had a great deal of work to do in goal. Can they ask a big question over here? Mel Taranto has been sent off, I believe, with either the blood rule or a uniform issue.
It looks like a blood rule.
Yeah, on the elbow. Good spot. As Gummer puts it right into the 6-yard box, and it's been spilled by Ayagi, but Kelsey Minton knew nothing about it as it deflects off her legs and out for a goal kick. That's a half chance at best, but well, Kelsey Minton almost presented with the ball at her feet.
Yeah. It's a wonderful near save by the keeper there, but she did enough.
Don't worry about it, love.
Now it's Calder's turn to temporarily be down a player. Waiting for Mel Taranto to get cleaned up. Bleeding elbow. Koja. Binning. Rachel Binning probing down the right. Blissett to Gummer. Rovers. Zimmerman. Sinclair calling for the ball. Wants to take it and run. Leah Varley. Good tackle. Stopped Sinclair in her tracks. A few of the more parochial home fans were trying to barrack the referee, but there was no foul there. And Vari against Papadopoulos. Gulshan Koja. Now to Ramble. Hulbert. Rample. Given to Gummer. Jamie Pollock. Oh, Alex Gummer with a shriek of anger there as the pass didn't arrive at the feet. I suppose that's the frustration of 37-degree weather and not getting the ball played to your feet.
Yeah, definitely. I was looking for a ball to pass where she wanted it that badly.
Taranto. Down to Hudson. So we're meandering closer to half-time here at Keilor Park. Medwin. And it spins away from Anvari. 38 minutes ticked over. Calder leading 1-0 since the 5th. Of course, you get 5 subs in the women's NPL, and you're able to use all of them. So I imagine that they will be used earlier than normal today. We've already seen one forced with Martineau going off injured. Papadopoulos getting a bit more joy down this left flank as the game goes on. Taranto was on the overlap. Papadopoulos goes diagonal instead. Pollock. Mel Taranto back on now with an arm bandage. Sakalis to Scroggy, and Minton is going to dig deep and go chasing. And Vari's waiting in the middle. Minton's kept it in. How about the cross? And it's just lacking a bit of oomph, but the clearance from Rovers inviting South back on. Sakalis to Scroggy. Jamie Pollock rolling away from Rovers. And Pollock crossing, but no bend on it, held onto by the keeper. Gulshan Koja. Taranto's diagonal ball. Sinclair with a slip. Mel Taranto goes chasing, but Gummer will be first to the ball down in the corner. The wind's not going to do the work to take it out, though. Scroggy back to Blissett. Sakalis keeps it moving, and now Minton against Koja. On the overlap is Jamie Pollock. Can she get the cross right this time? And this one with a bit of curve on it, and Anvari will keep it in the penalty area. It's Mariam Anvari hitting the byline. And while you appreciate the initiative from Anvari, didn't have quite the numbers nor the power behind the cross. Decent enough signs that South are starting to build back into the game, though.
Yeah, definitely. That's a couple of back-to-back forays forward, and hopefully we see a few more of them.
Played central. Adriana Taranto, and it won't be the sister act just yet because Hudson holds on to the shot, a dipping ball. Hudson booting it away. Calder got the wind at their backs, if anything, even though we aren't the best judges of which way the wind is going at ground level. You do wonder if it could be a case of South getting to bat second and play with it in the second half. Have Calder done enough in this first half? With the game largely on their terms, Izzy, South have got a foothold, but you still feel as though it's Calder in the ascendancy for the most part. Yeah,
you really do. They've still got a lot of the control. South have had those couple of movements forward, but I think Calder won't be too stressed about it.
.42nd minute at present. So, time just winding down on this first half. Can Calder find another? Rample, Zimmerman to Sinclair. So often players just find that last little burst at the end of the first half on a hot day like this, knowing that the break is imminent. So they're willing to just give it one more go. Sinclair. Slipped at the key moment. Gummer. Minton. Slight challenge coming in from Taranto. Bramble back to Calder. Going to play Amy Medwin through the right. Medwin, who hasn't had a venturing forward run in quite some time, has been more preoccupied with defending. And that challenge from Anvari is good hustle. Assistant referee is flagging South Melbourne's way. So maybe one last chance, although with the drinks breaks, I see 4 minutes on Lauren Riddell's board. So if the players thought the relief of half-time was imminent, it's not. You're going to get 4 minutes of stoppage at the end of the first half.
You don't say that too often. First half of 4 minutes.
Well, 2 drinks breaks, the injury to Nat Martineau.
Definitely warranted this time.
I'm sure the players would rather forfeit it. Scroggy. Binning. And Varley, an awkward looking header, but it gets the job done. Not played with the sort of surety that a more experienced central defender would in nodding it back to their own keeper. The 4 minutes is flashed. There's additional time at the end of this first half, with Calder leading 1-0, having done so since the 5th minute. Backtracking here. Zimmerman is just cutting off the angle and saying to Chelsea Blissett, you want to play a dangerous pass, be my guest. And Blissett answers that challenge and finds Leah Varley. Varley sends it down the right and it just bent a bit straight. Calder. That's an awkward touch, which means that Zimmerman is going to go and try and pin Varley down in the corner. And the troubles continue for Leah Varley. Eventually, the goalkeeper's call is heated. Hudson to Medwin. Cindy Lake. Switching out to the free flank and Gummer. And Vari. Return pass to Carlos. Ayagi's got to go. And for the second time in this half, it's Sakalis against Ayagi, and the goalkeeper takes the honours. Sakalis wasn't giving up on that, and if nothing else, Ayana Ayagi knows that every time Sophia Sakalis is chasing the ball, she's going to have to brace for contact, and that's exactly what happened there. Yeah,
definitely. Sakalis is not going to stop on those ones. It's a good, courageous performance by both of them.
Gummer. Hulbert. Gummer. As far forward as we've seen her today. Can't go any further. Stavros says, Calder look impressive considering the hot conditions. Calder are known for their fearsome pre-seasons, actually. The physical work that Ian Williamson, their assistant coach, makes them do. It certainly explains why they were able to start the Community Shield in such a blaze of goals, and the defending champions Bulleen just looked a bit short of a run. Taranto down to Rample. Binning. South eventually showing an interest in trying to win the ball. Calder trying to go forward. Gummer. Minton. Now Jamie Pollock against Guljan Koja. Koja just showed a bit of it to Minton and then composed play on the ball to win the little battle against Minton. And now Rampel clearing it to Zimmerman. Sinclair makes a run. Zimmerman holds up and waits for Hulbert instead. Is there a late goal at the end of this first half for Calder? Zimmerman. You just felt like they were trying to make their move there and Leah Varley stopped it. So we've got about a minute of additional time to go. Isabel, your thoughts please on this first half, assuming that Zimmerman doesn't score right here?
Well, I think even if they do pull another one out, you'd agree that Calder have been the dominant team this half. It's good to see South have had a few.
Here's a chance for Taranto, and right at the end of the first half, it's held out of the sky by Hudson. I'll let you finish your first half thoughts.
I was just saying that I think it was good to see South create a few opportunities later in this first half. Hopefully they can come out in the second half and do something similar, and yeah, hopefully we'll got a good game on our hands.
In taxing conditions, it's the early goal from Mel Taranto that is the difference. It came on 5 minutes. South Melbourne have been a good contest for Calder, but so far the home team in the ascendancy. And as we go to the halftime break, it is Calder United 1, South Melbourne 0. Stay with us on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel and the NPLW Victoria Facebook page. Welcome back to live pictures from Calder Park. And at half-time of this women's NPL match, it's Calder United 1, leading South Melbourne 0, thanks to Mel Taranto's first half goal. And there's going to be a half-time substitution with Alana Byrne, who scored last week, coming into the game. So one switch apiece now, with Nat Martineau going off injured in the first half for South Melbourne. Calder on this warm day, not a surprise to see that they have made a half-time switch. Emma Robers coming off, so like for like in the centre of midfield. And even though Robers has got the captain's armband, it doesn't mean she's immune from being substituted. Teo Pellizzeri, my name. Joining me is Isabel Fenner. And I suppose fresh legs are going to be vital in the second half for both teams. So what do you make of Calder switching Robers for Byrne here?
Yeah, well, as you said, it's a like-for-like change. And yeah, the captain's armband definitely doesn't make you immune to substitution. And in this heat, it's really a requirement to make those substitutions.
Got to say, the breeze has actually died down a bit here at the start of this second half at Calder Park, both at ground level and also up here in the scaffold tower. And thank you to Calder United for building that fantastic structure for us this season, which means we can bring you these live pictures on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel and also NPLW Victoria Facebook page. Underway then, at the start of the second 45, Calder attacking the right of your screens and South Melbourne going to the left. Izzy, what's it going to take for South Melbourne to get back in the game? What's it going to take for Calder to break away and double their lead?
I think for South it's about sort of more creative play forward and trying to catch the defenders off guard.
Zimmerman, and that would have caught them off guard almost immediately, but Aaron Hudson with a sure save, and having had good hands in the first half, was beaten essentially by an unsavable shot, I would say, from Mel Taranto on 5 minutes, but otherwise has been quite secure in goal. Rolling it out to Sophia Sakalis, and now Koja keeps it away from Anvari. You see Minton ghosting in from the right side and making it a contest, but to no great effect as it goes out for a throw.
I think for Calder, they'll definitely want to capitalise on those opportunities early and try and make the game theirs before it sort of gets to that 70-minute stage when everyone's feeling exhausted.
Got news around the grounds of Box Hill now leading 2-0 away at Bayside United, so they've made a great start to the season, Bocky, after winning 3-1 away to Galaxy United last week. If they can go on with the job there, that'll be 2 away wins to start their campaign. Of course, you can watch that game on Facebook and YouTube as well, if you wish to switch over. And of course, later tonight, 7 p.m, NTC against Alamein, who were here last week and beaten 3-0. One of the goals from that player, number 8 for Calder, Alana Byrne. Now Rampel. So the goal scorer, Mel Taranto, gives it away to Jamie Pollock. Pollock looking to run. Slight challenge comes in from Binning. Taranto. Rampel. Adriana Taranto. Leovala. Leaping onto the ball. Cindy Lay into Byrne. Can't go past. Block tackle from Adriana Taranto. Did not allow Cindy Lay any forward momentum, and Alexandra Sinclair trying to break through the left, being challenged by Blissett. Mel Taranto has one from similar territory. It takes a deflection. It's 2 for Mel Taranto and 2 for Calder. You feel for the goalkeeper in that situation, but Mel Taranto won't care. And quite similar to the first half, she scored early in the second.
Yeah, you really feel for the goalkeeper and the defender in those situations.
Bit of energy and a bit of momentum from Calder, and it's ended up in the back of the net. So they've made their own luck there, essentially, with the deflection. And now they have doubled their lead, and it leaves South Melbourne with a mountain to climb. So South kick off 2-0 down. Hulbert, Adriana Taranto, Binning. Papadopoulos. Hulberts. There's another long shot on here, this time blocked by Varley. Papadopoulos through the left. She's in behind Papadopoulos, and South Melbourne have got defensive cover. And it's out for a corner. I think the assistant referee over on the other side of the pitch was saying goal kick, but corner's the decision. We take another look at the goal, Izzy. We've got the advantage of YouTube here, so we can watch it back ourselves. I'll get you to talk us through exactly what happened. It's called to go over and set up this corner kick. So here comes the corner from Mel Taranto. Headed down by Sinclair. Zimmerman back out to the corner taker. Mel Taranto on a hat-trick, and this one held by the keeper. But her second goal, a slice of luck to it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a slice of luck getting that massive deflection. But as I said in the first half, if you don't shoot, it's hard to score. So, you know, if you're taking those opportunities, you never know what's going to happen.
Gummer. Back to Blissett. Scroggy. Back pass. Hudson. Calder sensing the chance to go for the kill here. And a third. You'd think the points will be safe. South are getting another. Lorca. Papadopoulos. Zimmerman still trying to hold off defenders and then had to slide to chase her own touch. And Vari caught by the backtracking Lorca, enough to put her off. For those of you who've just rejoined us, we apologise for the little break in transmission, but we've got you now. Pollock cutting in. The best chance, Izzy, talk us through the one-on-one that Mel Taranto had to complete her hat-trick that was saved by Hudson.
Yeah, it was just that final touch was a bit heavy and gave the goalkeeper a chance to come out and take it from her. It was a wonderful through ball. There were calls for offside, but it was just a perfectly timed ball and run.
So the finish was lacking, but ultimately suggests that Mel Taranto could yet leave with a hat-trick today. Free kick then for South Melbourne. They trailed 2-0, a goal back, and given how often they were able to reverse a deficit against Calder in the last 2 seasons, maybe the mental demons could still reappear. It's Leah Varley. She can hit one. That one, no great force. Attempted overhead kick, would you believe? Minton and, well, Alex Gummer is never afraid to just give something a go, and a slow-motion overhead kick wasn't quite the answer. And now Varley, the free kick taker, gets back. Gummer scored those before, though. I remember a game against NTC where Gummer scored would you call it an overhead kick, a bicycle kick, or just a backflip goal? She's got it in her locker.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was just any way to get foot on ball. But yeah, good on her. South need to get that ball in the back of the net, so have a go.
And during the little break in transmission, there were subs. Sarah Lorca came on for Marie Rampel for Calder. Raquel Doralis came on for Emily Hulbert. Cindy Lay won the ball. Now can she use it? And Vari, and was never going to convince the referee. I think it was just a very gentle going to ground. Mel Taranto has both the goals in this game and sends that one wide of Zimmerman. And first drinks break of the second half. So thoughts, please, Isabel Fenner, on what we've seen here in the first third, you'd say, of the second half, if I get my fractions right. Mel Taranto's goal, great chance for Mel Taranto's third, and South Melbourne still not really creating a great deal in attack.
Yeah, you'd say the start of this second half has started the way that the first half ended, with Calder really in control. Adding an extra goal is always helpful, and South are just lacking that forward movement.
We've seen both teams turn to the bench. Emily Raymond's coming on for South Melbourne as well. Let's take a look at the other subs available. Sky Jensen, a defender. Kelsey Quinn, who is dressed in an outfielder's kit, so they could bring her on as an outfielder, the past goalkeeper. And also Betty Michael, who is a forward, a winger, a pacey winger. And then for Calder, they still have Polly Doran, who's an attacking midfielder, Alicia Ike, who is a defender, and that would be that, because they've already made 3 subs. No Jenny Strober today, no Angie Beard, of course, still taking a break after W League season. And for South Melbourne, no Sarah Richardson today either. So with Nat Martineau off injured, Sarah Richardson not in the matchday squad. They are missing a couple of their more senior players. Richardson won a gold medal, amazingly, 9 years ago now as a teenager. Throw in then at right back after the first of what we suspect will be 2 drinks breaks during this second half. Lorca. Time to measure across. Zimmerman, can she make ground? Hooks it back, not to a teammate, however. Papadopoulos. Through ball from Doralis. Zimmerman! Side netting. And some of the fans went up. I went up, but it wasn't a goal.
No, they're playing those through balls to perfection at the moment.
Raquel Doralis is a fantastic talent, but nearly an assist for her there. Had an injury hit season last winter. Hopefully she's ready for a full winter of playing seniors because she has amazing ability. Has been on the radar of W League teams without ever getting a serious shot at playing at that next level up. So a full NPLW season, I think she'd be a really good contender to break into City or Victory. Long ball, Papadopoulos.
Take her, Alex.
Sinclair. And just knocked the boot off Blissett. She's pleading to the referee because she's down to one shoe. In the meantime, play continues. Sinclair, Varley, and clears. Sinclair's going to have to just play with one shoe here. And now Mel Taranto. Alana Byrne loves a long shot, and that one dipped late. That's what Alana Byrne can do. I've seen that both at 19s and senior level. Sometimes they hit the target, but not to be on this occasion.
No, it definitely did dip very late. It sort of just floated at the same line.
Good news is that Chelsea Blissett has got both shoes back on. Zimmerman. Papadopoulos. Adriana Taranto. Left foot attempt, and they're peppering at the moment. Calder without actually testing Erin Hudson.
Yeah, they are. I guess it's paid off for them so far in the game. And I think Adriana will be wanting to get one with her sister hitting them so nicely. So we wait for Erin Hudson. Bouncing on, Guljan Koja. Next change on the way will be Sky Jensen for South. Is the board going to go up on this delay and play for a foul? Be interesting to see if they slot her in defence or it leads to a number of positional changes here. Spoke at length about the youth of the South Central defenders in the first half. Well, Jensen's got a few years' experience on them, still only in her early 20s, but as we see Lorca unable to control that ball. And the board goes up. Who's coming off? It is going to be Cindy Lay. So this will either be Sky Jensen in midfield or quite a few positional switches here. Izzy, I'm intrigued as to what this is going to do to South's dynamic, given they're bringing on a centre-back for a central midfielder. Yeah, definitely. Considering they need goals, it'll be interesting to see how they play this out.
So South steadily working through their subs here as the game goes on. As we did mention, the wind has died down, so the conditions have become considerably more oppressive here at Keilor Park in this second half. It's a good time to invest in sunscreen. That's what I keep saying. I'm sure plenty of the players have as well. She's surprised to see not many of them or any of them are wearing zinc today. Oh, this is the sort of weather that brings out the zinc mask as well. Medwin. Touched on. Pollock. Spinning into the challenge of Koja. Raymond. And wins the throw. Emily Raymond, who was a key part of the under-19s title for South Melbourne last season, at Bulleen before that. Scroggy. It's going to break. Minton. Lorca, a last-ditch challenge, and an important one. Deflecting it off Minton. And it looked like Kelsey Minton was through there, but Sarah Lorca intervened.
Yeah, it was good movement forward, but the Calder defence just too strong there.
Now Lorca trying to drive into attack. Minton, another chance. Blissett, off Lorca. Sinclair. Back to one of the subs in this second half. Binning. Sinclair. Early ball. And Chelsea Blissett not taking any risks, just drives that out into the fence. Zimmerman. Couldn't lose the attention of Minton. But Doralis follows up, and still Raquel Doralis, the ball glued to her feet. And now she doesn't like the tight angle, so it goes back to Alana Byrne. Just felt like we were about to see something special from Raquel Doralis there, but she decided not to shoot. Zimmerman loves to shoot. Papadopoulos is forward, a little toe poke, and it's off the inside of the post. You don't get much closer than that.
Oh, that's unlucky, hitting the inside of the post and it's still bouncing back out.
Well, that should have been 3-0 and game over, and Stacey Papadopoulos is so unlucky not to join the scorers today. So chances... I really liked the movement of Doralis there. You can see the close control that she's got with the ball at her feet.
Yeah, definitely, and not to just waste it when there was nothing on opportunity. She, took it out wide and then played it back for them to have another go, rather than just wasting it.
Got news that it is 3-1 to Box Hill against Bayside. Bayside did peg one back to 2-1, but Box Hill have now scored a third, so they remain at arm's length down at Kingston Heath and on track to win their second in a row to start the season. Could they be the surprise packet? In fact, 4-1 now. We've just had another goal update 2 minutes ago. You can watch that on Facebook and YouTube if you wish, as Binning fouls Pollock. And not happy with Yoa Fisher, the referee, but is then quick to leave the scene. Polly Doran is waiting in the wings, but looks as though Calder are going to defend this free kick before making the change. It is still only 2-0. If we get a goal for South Melbourne here, it could yet set up a big finish. And Ayana Ayagi did not look totally assured under the high ball in that first half. Varley is going to test the keeper, and Pollock is there. Ayagi with courage diving out to the ball. Raymond, decision time, didn't want to shoot or pass. Just pondered on the ball, and so the chance now falls to Scroggy. An energetic header coming through from Byrne, and it bounces beyond Sky Jensen and called a breakout. And South Melbourne missed their opportunity. Sinclair, counter-attack, it's 2-on-2 into the path of Zimmerman, but Medwin just got the body position right, and now sends the ball out for a throw. Good defending at both ends, you'd have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great second effort from the keeper on that effort from South Melbourne. Really courageous diving for that.
Good effort from Ayagi to keep the score at 2-0. And then at the other end, it was Medwin who stopped Zimmerman stealing a march. And Mel Taranto won't get a chance for the hat-trick because she is being subbed off. So the board goes up, and even though we are some way from full time, Izzy, I ask you, is that a player of the match performance from Mel Taranto?
I think it'd have to be. She's got both goals, could have had a third, created a lot moving forward as well as holding up that midfield. So I think even though she's coming off relatively early, you'd say, for a normal game.
72nd minute, so yeah. 20, given that we had 4 minutes of stoppage in the first half, you'd think we'd have a fair few here in the second.
Yeah.
Doran comes on. Got a South Melbourne player down, receiving treatment. Players are going to have a drink as a result. So you feel as though this has gone from an organic break and play for the sub to an actual drinks break here. Leah Varley's the player getting treated. She's walking over to the sideline with the South trainer. Of course, they've got Pollock, who's played centre-back, Sky Jensen, who is a centre-back on the field, so no shortage of covering options in Varley's absence. Thrown in by Sinclair. Doran touching it on. Zimmerman. Adriana Taranto. Still going, bustling Taranto, and flag up against Dorales. The shot went wide anyway, but the assistant referee had the flag up straight away, and there's no question about the validity of that one.
No protests on that one.
Calder must feel like they're closing in on a third here, just to make this one safe. Jensen. Sinclair forcing it forward. Dorales flicks it on. Quick 1-2 with Zimmerman. Dorales, and that might have been a return pass once again that came up short. Scroggy hoping for Anvari. Coach has got it covered. Zimmerman. Shooting range for Zimmerman, and Gummer cops it in the midriff. It's taken the wind out of her, but she keeps her feet. A little pat of "I hope you're okay" from Zimmerman, but not a great deal of sympathy. And Alex Gummer still on her haunches here, drawing in deep breaths, and the referee is going to stop play to make sure she's all right. And we heard the impact from here.
Yeah, I think I felt it. It was a good strike, and I'm sure she'll be feeling that for a while.
Yeah, when Catherine Zimmerman shoots, it has some real velocity. That took some defending from Gummer. So another little breather for both teams. Just a reminder that if you're enjoying today's coverage, 7 p.m. tonight on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel and Facebook page, you can watch NTC against Alamein from Knox. If you're in the area, of course, it's free entry to NPL Victoria women's games, so go along and have a look at NTC. And Alamein, who will be looking to get their first points of the season. Doran. Kojo. Given away. Gummer. Taps it back. Anvari. Still a lot for South Melbourne to do. And we spoke in the first half, Izzy, about how long this pitch feels when you are trapped in defence and how far away the other end can seem. I think South Melbourne have reached that point, haven't they? That the times they venture forward are so few and far between.
Yeah, and often when they do, they don't have a lot of support forward and extra running for that one person that is forward.
Papadopoulos, so close to Calder's third. Zimmerman this time does get the shot away, and Hudson with a clean line of sight, able to raise the gloves and pluck it out of the air. South are getting Kelsey Quinn ready to come on as an outfielder. So Erin Hudson's the goalie. Kelsey Quinn, I suppose, is the emergency. But she's going to play as an outfielder here. I'm intrigued to see this. It has happened. She's played at lower levels in Victoria. Of course, an American who came over with Heidelberg initially. Can South find a goal? This game is not over if they can score one. But the issue right now is that they've got to score one. Doran to Byrne. One of the reasons that I really have a great admiration for Calder is that you look around the field at the moment, Sarah Lorca, Alana Byrne, Polly Doran, Raquel Dorales. They are all players that have played in the 19s here, some of them for a number of seasons, and Alicia Ike on the bench as well. So as much as they've gone out in the off-season and recruited the Taranto sisters, they are still a team that has done the right thing by a lot of their youngsters. And that's what you want to see, is he really? You want to see the players that have come through the ranks getting promoted into the top 10.
Yeah, well, that's the goal, isn't it? Trying to develop the youth and bring them up into the seniors when they're ready. And I think they've also got a lot of mainstays in the senior team, which I think will also help that development. So it was ultimately an organic break earlier, the faux drinks break. This is the real drinks break. We're going to have a pause here for both teams to think about the home stretch. As we take a look at the clock, it's now the 78th minute, so
Still enough time for South Melbourne if they score one, and Calder will feel as though a third goal will make it a very easy run to the finish line. Izzy, if you're in the South Huddle, what's your message?
Oh, gosh. I know it's hard, but keep going. Like, it's only 2-0. We've seen, it's a dangerous scoreline. We've seen stranger things happen in this league. I think it'll be very tough, but we've just got to keep going.
And as we wait for the change of Kelsey Quinn, I am intrigued as to who it is going to be making way. As the board goes up. Kelsey Quinn comes on, and it's Kelsey Minton who comes up. So it looks as though Quinn is going down into defence. And Minton, who'd been playing in a more attacking role. I suspect this means they're going to force Alex Gummer up the field into more of a midfield role. And Gummer is so versatile, can really go anywhere, has been a player that's played just about every position over the course of her career, except goalkeeper. Taranto, Gummer, deployed in the new role, straight into the thick of things. Doralis, Binning. Jensen. Can't keep it in. Right under our effects microphone, here Sarah Lorca picking up the ball. And then taking a few metres and hurling it down the line.
The arms all over, it is a step ladder.
Jamie Pollock. Scroggy. Raymond, underhit pass. Papadopoulos takes over. Up against the sub Quinn. Papadopoulos back to Doran, who fires, and it's a great save. That is the save of the day so far from Erin Hudson. Top goalkeeping to deny Polly Doran.
Yeah, what a save. That was a great strike. Most of the time you'd find that in the back of the net, but what a save.
When you get that sort of time to wheel around onto the ball, you can see Doran's technique held up very well. It was just a flat trace of bullet, and Erin Hudson, a very strong right hand to turn it around the post.
Absolutely, Wonder Woman save.
So, no relief for Hudson, who's now going to have to back up defending the corner. Taken short, Papadopoulos, Quinn clearing. Oh, it's taken an unlucky bounce for the South defence, at least because Polly Doran gets her goal. It's 3 for Calder. And you feel for South there because the ball just hit the turf, spun away, almost like an assist for Doran, and she lashed it in. And certainly there was nothing wrong with the earlier strike that forced the corner, but that one ends up in the back of the net and a well-deserved goal. Three 0 for Calder then. Gee, luck's a fortune, isn't it? And South Melbourne now perhaps resigned to the result today. Calder, having only conceded the 1 goal in the Community Shield, up 9-1 for the season as Medwin swings the ball in, cleared by Lorca. Scroggy. Can South peg one back here, just repair the goal difference, and Vari, good effort, but unable to generate the power she needed, and she stayed down here as well, as has Koja, so they both crashed into each other, so they stay down. Thoughts on the Doran goal, Izzy?
Yeah, well, as you said, the spin almost did act as a bit of an assist there, but she was there ready to pounce on it, so that's what you've got to do. The defence was sort of waiting to see what happened, and she took advantage.
So Doran, her second goal, having also scored in the Community Shield, first of the league season. But Papadopoulos down here for Calder, and it's going to prompt a immediate swap. Alicia Ike is going to come on. That'll empty the bench for both teams. So as we turn for home here in this one, Calder are going to win again. It's just a question of if it's the same scoreline as last week when they defeated Alamein 3-0. And they've played last year's 3 finalists, Bulleen in the Community Shield 3-1. Alamein, who finished 4th, 3-0 in South Melbourne, who won the league, and it's currently 3-0. So I suppose the thing is, it's March and the grand final's in September, and it's currently game 2 of what is a 27-game home and away season. So you can't get too carried away.
No, you can't. It is a very long season, but it's a little bit scary when you think they've got the likes of Angie Beard still to come in, who had a very good W League season with victory. So, yeah, only going to get stronger, you'd think.
And Alicia Ike gets her first touch as Papadopoulos leaves the game. Binning. Ayagi will be determined to hold on to her clean sheet then. Doralis shut down by Scroggy. Blissett against Lorca. Battle of two of the better young players in the senior NPLW. Off the head of Doralis, and good endeavour from Sinclair, refusing to give up on the calls. You hear the conversation there with the assistant referee saying it wasn't the whole ball. Competitor right to the end. Adriana Taranto. Zimmerman, Sinclair, Doralis in the pocket. Good use of the space, early ball. Doran could be on for a second. First touch abandoned her. That perhaps should have been a second for Calder. Doran in space all the time to turn, and just not a good first touch, but she's going to get another chance here. Can she turn provider? Doran cuts it in. Zimmerman, Doralis wants it at the top of the box, and blocked away by Varley. Taranto with a long shot, and that one is held onto by Hudson. So South have got a lockdown here. You feel like Calder, they could have more goals in them before we reach the finish line.
Yeah, they could very easily run away with it.
85th minute now, so when you factor in that there will be a bit of stoppage, still potentially 10 minutes of this game to go. Medwin, and clean hands from Ayagi. Lorca. Sinclair. Doralis. Lorca keeps running and stopped by Jensen. Off the chest of Byrne. Doralis. Zimmerman. Doralis. And Raymond commits the foul. For the most part, it's been a well-behaved game. I don't think there's been a yellow card, so neither team has really played with overt aggression.
No, definitely not.
Alicia Ike getting forward. 1-2 with Zimmerman. This is rare territory for the defender. And he's going to opt back for Doran. And just a drifting ball that was not really a through pass or a shot. I'd say it was an overhit pass in the end. Out for a goal kick. Gunner. Alicia Ike. Doran has really taken this game by storm off the bench. This cross is addressed by Varley. Alana Byrne almost caught snoozing, but held her ground. Taranto. Lorca. Gets a second chance. Adriana Taranto against Anvari. And fouled by Taranto. Quinn. Jensen to Byrne. Quinn. Doran. South player stays down out of the block tackle. It's Raymond who, in fact, Jamie Pollock, I should say, who waves to the bench to say she's all right. Fourth official reaching for the board. So I asked you when she was subbed off in the 72nd minute, is Mel Taranto our player of the match today?
I think so. I don't think there's been any other standouts to the same degree. I think she's definitely the player of the match for this one.
Koja, Taranto, Byrne, Doralis, Varley is cramped. She stays down. And Blissett played it to a fallen teammate. Are they going to put the ball out? Looks as though they're going to have to. Jensen eventually rolls it over the line, and Leah Varley saw the right calf seize up, and she knew straight away. I'll get your tips for the rest of the weekend. Izzy, tonight, NTC against Alamein. Alamein didn't score last week against Calder. NTC lost 5-1 to Bayside. Do Alamein get their first win? Do they get their first points?
I would assume they would. I think you've seen today Calder are a standout team, playing really good football. So I don't think the loss that Alamein had to them last week is necessarily the sort of barometer for their season. I think they should run out over NTC, I would have thought.
And what about tomorrow's game, Heidelberg against Galaxy United?
Oh, it's an interesting one. Saw against Bulleen, Heidelberg sort of came out with a lot more than maybe a lot were expecting, and Galaxy have had so many changes in the off-season. It's hard to know what's going to happen.
I thought Heidelberg were impressive on Monday night, in the sense that they played to the game plan. Bulleen potentially could have won going away rather than sort of squeaking a 2-1 win, but by the same token, if Heidelberg had timed their runs a bit better and not been trapped offside so many times, they really could have felt they could have left with something themselves.
Yeah, and they had a few opportunities in front of goal and the odd touch or misfire that let them down, so could have easily won that one.
I'm very intrigued to see how Tomoko Fukumaru and Kana Oda, who scored last week, go, the two Japanese imports for Galaxy. Oda's goal was particularly good. And the chance here for Terry Papadopoulos is actually asking for a bit of hang time here, because what may have started as a routine cramp, you worry, is it a calf strain for Leah Varley that's going to force her to leave the game? Not ideal.
No, it's not, and she did sound like she was in significant discomfort earlier.
I mean, you can have incredibly painful cramps, so I just hope it is, because you don't want it to be something worse. I'm sure if it was a more serious injury, they wouldn't be stretching it the way they are. So
no, you'd hope not.
You'd hope this is not a serious injury. The game is ticked into stoppage time subsequently, so we are close to full time here. Calder 3, South Melbourne 0. And the Calder stretcher bearers, and looks like Gulshan Koja has adopted medical team duties as well. Forget playing, she's gone and joined the support crew. And Varley is carried out of the game. Six additional minutes, so we lost about one of them due to that break, so wouldn't be surprised if it might have been 5, and then they just decided to tag on one more. Doran, her goal the third. Byrne caught in possession. Lorca. Sinclair, back to Lorca. Scroggy. Raymond. And Alicia Ike is sweeping onto the ball to knock it away. Taranto. Zimmerman. Dispossessed by Quinn. Spinning away from Gummer, distributing to Lorca. Sarah Lorca, the long flat ball. Zimmerman, first touch sent it sky high. Kelsey Quinn charging through. Taranto, Byrne. Alicia Wright could overrun the ball. Backtracking. Koja to Binning. Next week, Calder United play NTC at Knox from 4 p.m. on Saturday. Lorca gets forward here. Draws in Jensen and then is forced out by Jensen. So just ran out of ideas, Lorca. And for South Melbourne, I mentioned it in the first half, they've got the grand final rematch 8:30 on Monday the 11th at the Veneto Club. Of course, you'll be able to watch both of them live on the NPL Victoria Facebook page. So, next Monday, that'll be a good one. Bull End coming off a 10-0 win, so they've got a perfect 2 wins from 2. South Melbourne coming in off the back of this defeat. I've been told by South Melbourne that it is confirmed as just a bad cramp, so thank you to Skip Fulton. As Calder want one more before full time. Sinclair against Quinn. And teeing it across. Zimmerman, it was beyond her reach. Doran goes and retrieves. All the way down in the corner, but it allows the South defence to track back. Alicia Ike bumping off Raymond. Byrne, Taranto. Can she join her sister among the scorers? And Doran is offside, so the air goes out of the balloon there. I'll get your final thoughts on the game here. Izzy, it's been great having your company for this one, so wrap it up for us.
Yeah, I think it's just been a dominant display by Calder, really. They could have had a couple more. South, I guess, losing Martineau early was a big loss to them, but they just haven't had that creativity and movement forward that really is required against a top-notch team like Calder.
Whoa, his birthday.
In the last minute of the allocated 6, Byrne, Pollock, Gummer, Raymond, players hanging out for the referee's whistle now. Calder safe winners today. Kelsey Quinn's throw. Raymond able to evade 3 Calder players. Gummer. And now Anvari and Medwin break together, but in the middle is Koja watching it safely over the line. Julia Mezzatesta, the assistant referee over on the outer side. And there is the full-time whistle. Calder's perfect start to the season continues. It is back-to-back 3-0 wins for them, and they have now defeated last year's top 4 in their first 3 outings of the campaign. Full-time, Calder United 3, South Melbourne 0. Isabel Fenner, final thought.
Well, I think Calder is shaping up to be the team to beat. I was very wrong in my pre-match prediction, and I'm very happy to say that. It was a great performance by Calder, really deserved win, and hopefully South can bounce back and get Martineau back in. Hopefully it's not too bad an injury.
Here's a tip for you. Never confess to getting a tip wrong. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you to our production crew, Sportscast Australia as well. My name's Teo Pellizzeri, and we say goodbye to you from Keilor Park. And don't forget, coming up later tonight, NPL Victoria Women's continues on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel and Women's Facebook page. It's goodbye for now.